You are not small. You are not ordinary. You are not here to bow before anyone. From this moment forward, you must abandon every thought that suggests otherwise. The world you experience is nothing more than a projection of the way you see yourself. Ask yourself, who are you? Are you the one waiting for permission to be great? Or are you the one who steps into every room with a certainty that you belong at the top? Let me tell you something. Life is not about waiting for approval. It is not about hoping that others will recognize your worth. It is about knowing deep within your being that you are already the best. And because you know it, the world has no choice but to reflect it. Walk as if you are unmatched. Speak as if your words carry power. Think as if your mind shapes the universe itself, because it does. You do not need validation. You do not need reassurance. The only thing required is your unwavering assumption that no one is above you. Do not entertain doubt. Do not compare yourself. The moment you begin to question your supremacy, you invite resistance into your world. Instead, embody it. Feel it so deeply that it becomes second nature. If you assume yourself to be the best, life will prove you right. Others will see you as you see yourself. The opportunities, the recognition, the success, they will all gravitate toward you effortlessly. You are not waiting to become the best. You already are. Now act like it. The world around you is not separate from you. It is an extension of your inner world, a mirror reflecting back what you assume to be true. Every moment of your life is an unfolding of your deepest convictions, the silent and unseen beliefs you hold about yourself. If you assume yourself to be weak, unworthy, or lacking, then life will organize itself to confirm that assumption. If you assume yourself to be powerful, confident, and superior, then the world will shape itself in accordance with that belief. This is not a matter of chance. It is law. The external world is nothing but the crystallization of your internal state. It does not matter what others think of you. It matters only what you think of yourself. The moment you decide, with conviction, that you are the best, that there is no one above you, no one more deserving, no one more capable, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. Think of the greatest figures in history, the ones who have carved their names into time itself. They were not waiting for permission. They were not waiting for others to recognize them. They assumed themselves to be great before the world ever acknowledged them. Their unwavering belief in their own superiority shaped the course of their lives. They acted as if they were destined for greatness, and in doing so they commanded it. You see, the mind is the architect of reality. Every thought, every assumption is a blueprint, and the world around you is simply the structure built upon it. If you assume yourself to be insignificant, then you will act in accordance with that belief. Your posture, your voice, your choices will all reflect it. And because of that, others will treat you as insignificant. But if you assume yourself to be the best, if you carry within you the absolute conviction that you are superior, then your actions will align with that assumption and the world will respond accordingly. This is not arrogance. It is the fundamental understanding of how reality works. There is no external force deciding your worth. Only you can do that. And whatever you decide, the world will affirm. When you walk into a room, do not shrink yourself, do not lower your voice, do not wait for validation. Assume that you are the most important presence in that space and watch how others subconsciously respond. They will take notice. They will feel the shift in energy. They will treat you as you treat yourself. Doubt is the only enemy. The moment you allow hesitation to creep in, the moment you question your own power, you invite the world to question it too. This is why many people remain stuck in mediocrity, not because they lack ability, but because they assume themselves to be ordinary. And so life keeps giving them proof of their ordinariness. But the one who dares to assume themselves as the best, who carries that assumption so deeply that it becomes their reality, will always rise above. You do not need evidence before you believe. You do not need someone to tell you that you are the best. You decide, and then life aligns with that decision. Everything begins within you. The wealth, the success, the recognition, these are not things you chase. They are things that chase you when you become the person who naturally attracts them. If you want to change your life, change your assumption. Hold the feeling of superiority within you. Do not waver. Do not seek external proof. Create it. Walk, speak, think, and act as if you are already the best. And soon, the world will have no choice but to agree. No one will hand you confidence. No one will tap you on the shoulder and say you are now worthy. If you wait for the world to recognize your greatness before you do, you will wait forever. Confidence is not something given, it is something taken, something claimed. It is a force that comes from within, not a reward bestowed upon you by others. You do not need approval, permission, or validation. You need only to decide within yourself that you are the best and then carry yourself accordingly. There is a common illusion that confidence is the result of external success, that once you achieve enough, once people respect you, once you reach a certain level, then you will feel secure in yourself. But this is backward thinking. It is not success that creates confidence. It is confidence that creates success. Those who rise above the rest do not wait for proof before they believe in themselves. They believe first. They assume their own greatness long before the world acknowledges it. And because they hold this belief so firmly, reality bends to accommodate it. Look at the people who command attention when they walk into a room. What makes them different? It is not always their looks, their wealth, or their status. It is the way they carry themselves, the silent yet undeniable energy that tells the world, I belong here. I am the one you should be paying attention to. They have claimed their own greatness, and because they believe in it without question, others believe in it too. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not about proving yourself to others or forcing them to recognize your worth. It is about knowing who you are so deeply that you do not need anyone else to affirm it. When you truly own the feeling of superiority within, you do not seek validation. You do not beg for recognition. You simply exist in your power, and the world naturally falls into place around you. The mistake most people make is waiting for the right circumstances, the right moment, the right words from someone else to tell them that they are enough. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time when everything aligns just right to give you the confidence you desire. You must become it now. You must assume it now. Walk in the energy of confidence before you have a reason to. Speak with authority before anyone acknowledges it. Move through the world as if it is already yours, and soon it will be. This is not about pretending. It is about shifting your internal state to align with the version of you that already exists in your mind, the version of you who is respected, admired, and powerful. Stop thinking of confidence as something you must earn. Stop looking outside yourself for proof. The proof is irrelevant. It is your belief that shapes reality, not the other way around. Think of the people who are overlooked, underestimated, ignored. It is not because they lack ability. It is because they have not claimed their space. They shrink themselves, waiting for someone to tell them they are worthy of standing tall. But the world does not operate that way. The world responds to those who assume their own importance, those who walk as if they have already arrived. Do not wait, do not hesitate. Confidence is not about what you have accomplished. It is about what you believe you are capable of. Own that belief now. Step into it fully. Carry yourself as if you are the best, because the moment you do, the world will begin to reflect it. Everything you desire starts with the decision to claim it. The world you see is nothing more than a reflection of your own self-concept. Every interaction, every response from others, every success or failure you perceive is a direct result of the beliefs you hold about yourself. There is no competition outside of you. There is only the mirror of your own consciousness. The way others treat you, the way they react to you, and even the opportunities that appear or disappear are shaped by what you assume to be true about yourself. If you believe you are insignificant, the world will confirm it. People will overlook you, dismiss your ideas, and fail to acknowledge your presence. Not because they have power over you, but because you have unknowingly instructed the world to reflect that belief back to you. On the other hand, if you see yourself as powerful, intelligent, and worthy, that assumption will become the lens through which reality unfolds. People will respond to you differently. You will attract respect, admiration, and opportunities not because you forced them, but because you aligned with them internally. It is easy to believe that competition exists outside of you, that others are better, stronger, or more capable. But this illusion dissolves the moment you recognize that others are simply playing the role you have assigned them in your reality. The person you admire, the person you envy, the person you fear, all are reflections of your own consciousness. If you see someone as superior, it is only because you have placed yourself below them in your own mind. If you see someone as more deserving, it is because you have not yet accepted your own worth. When you elevate your self-perception, the entire world must shift to accommodate your new state of being. People who once ignored you will begin to notice you. Situations that once felt impossible will now open up effortlessly. Not because anything outside of you has changed, but because you have changed. The mirror of life is neutral. It simply reflects what is placed before it. If you do not like what you see in others, if you feel inferior or overlooked, the answer is not to compete, chase, or prove yourself. The answer is to look inward and adjust your self-concept. This is why confidence is not something you seek externally. It is something you cultivate within. The world cannot validate what you do not first validate in yourself. People sense on an unspoken level how you see yourself. If you move through life with hesitation, self-doubt, or feelings of unworthiness, others will unconsciously pick up on that energy and treat you accordingly. But if you step into a room with the certainty that you belong, that you are important, that you are the best, then the world will mirror that belief back to you. It is not about arrogance. It is not about forcing others to see your value. It is about embodying that value so completely that the world has no choice but to acknowledge it. When you assume the role of someone who is respected, admired, and sought after, life will respond in kind. You do not have to prove yourself to anyone. You do not have to compare yourself to others. You simply have to become the version of yourself that already exists in your imagination. The one who is confident, powerful, and undeniable. Stop looking at others as competition. Stop believing that someone else's success means your failure. There is no separation between you and what you desire except the limitations you have placed in your own mind. Others are only mirrors. They reflect your fears, your doubts, your strengths, and your potential. If you want the world to treat you differently, if you want more respect, more opportunities, more recognition, then begin within. Elevate your self-perception and watch as the world follows. Most people waste their lives trying to figure out how things will happen. They analyze, strategize, and hesitate, believing that if they do not have a clear path, they cannot move forward. But this thinking is backwards. It is not your job to concern yourself with how something will unfold. Your only responsibility is to embody the state of what you desire, assume you are already the best, and life will arrange the details in ways beyond your imagination. The mind is conditioned to seek logic, to demand explanations, to crave proof before belief. But this approach only keeps you stuck. If you look at your current reality and base your beliefs on what you see, you will forever be limited by what has already manifested. The world around you is simply a reflection of past assumptions, not a predictor of what is possible. If you want to change your life, you must stop looking for evidence and start living from the state of your desired outcome. Think of the most successful people you know. Do you believe they meticulously planned every step of their journey? Or did they first assume their greatness and let life unfold in their favor? The truth is, those who rise to the top do not worry about how they will get there. They simply embody the version of themselves that already belongs at the top. They think, speak, and move as if they are already successful, and the world rearranges itself to match that assumption. This is where most people fail. They hesitate because they cannot see the full path ahead. They think, I want to be the best, but I don't know how it will happen. They look at their current situation and see nothing that indicates success, so they give up before they even start. But the secret is this: The how is never your concern. The path reveals itself only after you assume the state of already being the best. When you step into the feeling of already being at the top, when you carry yourself with the certainty of someone who has already arrived, life responds. Opportunities appear, doors open, people and circumstances shift to align with your assumption. Not because you force them to, but because that is the law of reality. What you assume yourself to be, you become. It is not about pretending or faking it. It is about fully embodying the energy of your desired state. If you desire to be the best in your field, how would you think? How would you move? How would you speak? Start living in that state now, and reality will conform. Do not wait for proof before you believe. Believe first, and the proof will come. The logical mind will resist this. It will say, but I need a plan. I need to know what steps to take. This is an illusion. The steps will be revealed as you walk. Your job is not to force reality to comply with your timeline. Your job is to become the version of yourself that already exists in your imagination and let life orchestrate the details. This is why those who assume success experience it effortlessly, while those who doubt struggle endlessly. The doubters keep questioning, keep hesitating, keep searching for signs before they commit. Meanwhile, the ones who know move forward with unshakable confidence, and the world bends to their belief. Embody the what. Assume you are already the best, and life will take care of the rest. It is not your job to micromanage the universe. Your only responsibility is to become the person who already has what you desire. And when you do, the how will take care of itself in ways beyond your imagination. Every moment of your life, you are broadcasting a message to the universe. Through your thoughts, your words, and your actions, you are telling the world who you believe yourself to be. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you think, all of it is shaping the reality you experience. If you desire to be the best, you must align every part of your being with that truth. You do not wait for evidence. You do not seek validation, you embody it now. The world responds not to what you wish for, but to what you assume to be true about yourself. If you speak with hesitation, if your thoughts are filled with doubt, if your actions betray insecurity, the world will mirror that back to you. But when you think, speak, and move with certainty, when every fiber of your being is in alignment with the belief that you are the best, then the world has no choice but to confirm it. This is not about arrogance or pretending. It is about stepping into the identity of who you already are in your highest state. There is no need to prove yourself to anyone, because the best do not seek validation. They know who they are. They do not explain. They do not beg for recognition. They do not second-guess their worth. They walk with the quiet confidence of someone who has already arrived. Your thoughts must reflect this inner knowing. You cannot afford to entertain doubts or conflicting beliefs. The moment you allow yourself to think, what if I am not good enough? What if others are better? You have already given away your power. Your thoughts are the foundation of your reality. If you think like the best, you become the best. If you allow insecurity to creep in, you will see it reflected in your experience. Your words must be in alignment with your highest self. Every time you speak, you are reinforcing an identity. The person who is truly great never speaks in a way that contradicts their power. They do not downplay their abilities. They do not use weak language. They do not talk about failure or limitations. Instead, they speak with clarity, authority, and conviction. Their words declare their worth, not because they are trying to convince others, but because they know. And then your actions must follow. How would you carry yourself if you knew beyond any doubt that you were the best? Would you slouch, avoid eye contact, and shrink in the presence of others? Or would you stand tall, move with confidence, and own every space you enter? The way you walk, the way you enter a room, the way you hold yourself, these things matter. They are a signal to the world about what you believe to be true about yourself, and more importantly, they reinforce that belief within you. There is no separation between who you are and who you desire to be. The only gap is in your assumption. If you wait for the world to recognize you first, you will wait forever. Recognition does not come before belief, it follows it. You must declare yourself as the best long before anyone else acknowledges it. You must move as if you have already won. You must be the person you see in your imagination now. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every step you take must be in harmony with the truth of your greatness. There is no need to try. Trying implies effort, and effort implies struggle. Instead, you simply become. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. You do not fake it. You do not hope for it. You embody it. Because the best do not wait for permission to be great. They claim it. And once you claim it, the world will follow. The only true enemy you will ever face is doubt. Not competition, not circumstances, not lack of opportunity, just doubt. The belief that someone else is better, more capable, or more deserving than you is the only thing that stands between you and your greatest self. If you can eliminate that thought, if you can silence that inner voice that questions your worth, then the world will have no choice but to reflect your certainty. Doubt is subtle. It does not announce itself with grand gestures. It creeps in through hesitation, through comparison, through the small moments when you question whether you are truly capable. It whispers in your mind, what if you fail? What if they are better? What if you are not enough? And if you listen, if you allow those thoughts to take root, you weaken your own power. Not because the world has decided against you, but because you have. You must understand that the world is a mirror. It does not decide who succeeds and who fails. It simply reflects back to you what you believe. If you hold the assumption that someone else is superior, the world will validate that belief. If you assume that you are the best, the world will confirm that instead. Reality is neutral. It conforms to you. Look at those who rise to the top in any field. Do you think they never faced competitors? Of course they did, but they refused to acknowledge anyone as greater than themselves. They refused to entertain the thought that someone else was more worthy. They did not wait for external proof. They decided their own greatness. And because they believed it so deeply, life made it true. You do not need to outwork anyone. You do not need to prove yourself to the world. You only need to remove the one thing that keeps you from stepping fully into your power, the idea that someone else is above you. That idea is an illusion. It exists only in your mind. The moment you stop feeding it, it dies. There is no one outside of you who determines your success. No one else holds the key to your greatness. You are the only one who decides where you stand. If you believe you are second place, the world will make it so. If you believe you are first, everything will align to support that. This is not about arrogance. It is about certainty. When you walk into a room, do not see yourself as someone hoping to be acknowledged. See yourself as someone who already belongs. When you pursue a goal, do not wonder if you are capable. Know that you are. When you look at others, do not compare. There is no comparison. You exist in your own category. The great ones do not wait for validation. They do not wait for permission. They do not second guess their place at the top. They assume it, and because they assume it, they become it. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the belief that something or someone else has more power than you. Remove that belief, and there's nothing left to stop you. The world will bow, not because you forced it to, but because that is the nature of certainty. Doubt is the only enemy. Banish it completely, and what remains is the unshakable truth. You are the best, and no one is better than you. The truth is simple. You are what you assume yourself to be. There is no external force deciding your worth, no competition greater than the one in your own mind. If you walk, speak, and think as the best, the world will confirm it. Your confidence is not something given to you, it is something you claim. Others are only reflections of what you believe about yourself. And the moment you remove doubt, you remove every barrier to success. Forget the how, embody the what. Step into the identity of the greatest version of yourself now. The world does not make you, you make the world. Assume your power, own your worth, and let no one, not even yourself, question your supremacy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly invested in yourself? I'm not talking about the fleeting moments when you got inspired after scrolling through a motivational quote. I'm talking about the commitment, the blood, sweat, and discipline that it takes to become the person you're meant to be. You see, growth doesn't happen by accident. You don't wake up one day and suddenly have it all together. It's the small, deliberate choices you make every day. Are you reading, learning, practicing, and refining your craft? Or are you waiting for the world to hand you something you haven't earned? Because let me tell you something, success isn't handed out like a flyer on the street. You've got to chase it down and demand it for yourself. The world loves to talk. It will try to tell you who you are, what you can do, and how far you can go. But hear me now, those voices don't define you. Their doubts aren't your limits. Their opinions aren't your reality. Every time you let their words seep into your soul, you're giving them control. Take back your power. Focus on your vision and block out the noise. Let's get one thing straight. Ambition without humility is a recipe for failure. Stay hungry for success. Yes, work like your life depends on it, because it does. But never think for a second that you're above learning, that you've arrived, or that you're done growing. The minute you stop being a student of life, you stop winning at it. Everything starts in your mind. What you believe about yourself will shape what you become. If you think small, you'll live small. If you let fear dominate your thoughts, you'll never break free. But if you focus on your strength, your capability, and your vision, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Remember this: what you feed your mind today will show up in your life tomorrow. We live in a world obsessed with overnight success, but that's not real. What's real is the grind, the quiet, unglamorous steps you take each day. Don't wait for perfection to pat yourself on the back. Celebrate the small victories, the extra mile you ran, the extra hour you studied, the mistake you learned from. Progress is the name of the game. Stop looking left and right. Stop measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself every morning, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Then get to work and make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on you every single day. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Not because anyone else is watching, but because the person in the mirror deserves the best you can give. And when you do, the world will feel the weight of your greatness. Stay focused, stay driven, and never stop believing in your power to rise. Every day, when you wake up and take that first breath of morning air, you're faced with a choice. It's a choice so subtle, so unassuming, that most people miss its power entirely. That choice is: this will today be just another day, or will it be a step toward becoming the best version of yourself? Growth doesn't happen by chance. It isn't something you stumble upon like a lucky coin on the sidewalk. No, greatness is built brick by brick with intention, purpose, and discipline. And the sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner your life will start to transform. Now let's get one thing straight: growth is uncomfortable. It challenges you. It pushes you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But here's the secret: that discomfort is where the magic happens. You see, it's easy to stay in your comfort zone, to live the same routine day after day. It's safe there, predictable. But nothing grows in a space where nothing changes. If you want to evolve, you have to be willing to step into the unknown, to stretch beyond what you think you're capable of, and to embrace the process even when it's messy. Every single day is an opportunity. Think about that for a moment. Not just the big moments, graduations, promotions, or major milestones, but every ordinary, seemingly insignificant day is a chance to invest in your better self. The question is, are you making the most of it? Or are you letting those opportunities slip away, lost to distractions, procrastination, or a lack of belief in your potential? It's time to start seeing your days for what they truly are, building blocks for your future. Each one holds the potential to bring you closer to the person you're meant to be. But let's not pretend it's easy. Growth demands effort. It requires you to show up, not just when you feel like it, but every single day. It's about committing to the small, consistent actions that lead to big results over time. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant the seed today and expect it to bear fruit tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, and give it sunlight, trusting that one day it will grow into something magnificent. Your growth works the same way. The reading you do, the skills you practice, the goals you set, they may not show immediate results, but over time, they compound into something extraordinary. And let's talk about purpose. Without it, growth becomes aimless, like running on a treadmill without a destination. Purpose gives your actions meaning. It's the why behind what you do, the driving force that keeps you moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Take a moment to reflect. What's your purpose? What are you working toward? When you have a clear vision of the person you want to become, every decision you make starts to align with that vision. Purpose turns ordinary days into stepping stones towards something greater. But here's the catch: discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's not enough to want growth, you have to be willing to work for it. And discipline isn't about motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. It's waking up early to exercise when you'd rather sleep in. It's choosing to study when your friends are out having fun. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your goals. Discipline is what separates those who dream about success from those who achieve it. Let's be honest, there will be days when you feel like giving up. Days when the progress seems slow and the setbacks feel overwhelming. But here's what you need to remember: growth isn't linear. It's not a straight path. There will be ups and downs, victories and failures. The key is to keep going, to keep showing up, even when it feels hard. Because every step you take, no matter how small, is a step forward. And every time you push through the challenges, you're building resilience, strength, and character. One of the greatest misconceptions about growth is that it's all about reaching the finish line. But the truth is, the journey itself is where the real transformation happens. It's in the daily grind, the quiet moments of effort, and the sacrifices you make along the way that you discover who you truly are. Growth isn't about becoming someone else, it's about uncovering the greatness that's already within you and bringing it to the surface. So how do you start? By making a decision. Decide that today will not be wasted. Decide that your time is too valuable to spend on things that don't serve your growth. Start small. Read a chapter of a book. Take a class. Learn a new skill. Set a goal and break it down into manageable steps. And most importantly, commit to the process. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to grow into the person who can achieve it. You are a work in progress, and that's a beautiful thing. Embrace the process, be patient with yourself, and never stop striving to be better. Because every day you choose growth, you're not just building a better life, you're building a better you. And that, my friend, is the foundation of true greatness. Every person on this planet is surrounded by noise. It's not always the kind you hear with your ears, sometimes it's the kind that seeps into your mind, whispers doubts, and clouds your focus. This noise can come from anywhere: opinions from others, the constant hum of social media, the pressure to conform, or the expectations placed on you by society. It's relentless, isn't it? But here's the truth: if you don't learn to silence the noise, it will drown out the voice that matters most, yours. Let's begin with distractions. In this modern world, they're everywhere. They blink, they buzz, and they pull you away from what truly matters. Whether it's your phone lighting up with notifications or the allure of mindless scrolling, these distractions rob you of your time, your energy, and your focus. Every time you give in, you're allowing something outside of you to dictate how you spend your day. And days add up to weeks, months, and years. How many of those years are you willing to sacrifice to distractions? Time is the one resource you can never get back, and every second you spend on something unimportant is a second stolen from your dreams. But distractions aren't the only kind of noise. Opinions are just as powerful, if not more so. Think about how often you let someone else's words affect you. Maybe they told you your goal was unrealistic, or your idea wasn't good enough. Maybe they laughed at your ambition or questioned your choices. And maybe, just maybe, you started to believe them. But here's the thing, their opinions are not your truth. What someone else thinks about your life says more about them than it does about you. Yet too often, we internalize these opinions, letting them shape our decisions and our self-worth. Why? Because we fear rejection, judgment, or standing out. But greatness doesn't come from fitting in, it comes from having the courage to follow your own path, even when it's unpopular. Your life is not a public debate. It's not up for a vote. It's not something that needs to be approved or validated by others. Your life is yours, your responsibility, your journey, your masterpiece. When you allow others to dictate your choices, you give away your power. You hand over the steering wheel of your life to someone who isn't even driving in the same direction. Stop seeking permission to chase your dreams. Stop waiting for the world to clap for you before you start moving. Silence the noise of their opinions and take back control. Silencing the noise doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world, it means being selective about what you let in. You have the power to choose who and what influences you. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you to grow, and who believe in your potential. These voices will fuel your journey, not hinder it. At the same time, learn to identify the voices that drain you, those who criticize without offering solutions, who project their fears onto you, or who belittle your dreams because they've given up on their own. These voices have no place in your life. Now, let's talk about the internal noise, the doubts and fears that creep in when no one else is around. This noise can be the hardest to silence because it comes from within. It tells you you're not good enough, that you're not ready, or that you'll fail. But here's what you need to understand: those doubts are not the truth. They are a reflection of your fears, not your reality. Every time you hear that voice in your head telling you to stop, to give up, or to play it safe, challenge it. Replace it with a voice that believes in you. Speak affirmations over yourself. Remind yourself of your strengths, and focus on the progress you've already made. The voice you feed is the one that will grow stronger, so choose wisely. The path to your goals will never be completely quiet. There will always be noise, external and internal. The key is learning how to navigate it without losing your focus. One way to do this is to create space for stillness in your life. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in silence, these moments allow you to reconnect with your vision and hear your own thoughts clearly. In stillness, you'll find the clarity to distinguish between what's important and what's just noise. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the choices you make in pursuit of your goals. You don't need to justify your dreams or defend your ambition. Those who truly support you will understand, and those who don't were never meant to be part of your journey. Stand firm in your decisions and let your actions speak louder than their words. The best way to silence the noise is to succeed in spite of it. As you move forward, remind yourself daily that your life is yours to live. Focus on your vision, your purpose, and your progress. The world will always have something to say, but you don't have to listen. Choose to listen to the voice within you, the one that knows your potential, sees your greatness, and believes in your ability to achieve it. When you do, the noise will fade into the background, and all that will remain is the sound of your footsteps, steady and strong, moving closer to your dreams. Success is a journey that demands more than talent, luck, or ambition. It calls for a unique blend of hunger and humility, a relentless drive to achieve, combined with the grounded understanding that no one is above the process. Success doesn't come to those who sit back and wait for it. It doesn't favor the entitled or the complacent. Instead, it seeks out those who are willing to work, sacrifice, and stay true to themselves, no matter how high they climb. Hunger is the fire that fuels your journey. It's the deep, insatiable desire to grow, achieve, and become more than you were yesterday. Hunger is what gets you out of bed before the sun rises. It's what keeps you going when the odds are stacked against you. But hunger isn't just about wanting success, it's about wanting it badly enough to put in the work. It's about showing up every day with passion and purpose, even when no one is watching. Hunger means doing the hard things, the things most people shy away from, because you know they're necessary to get where you want to go. This kind of hunger isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It starts with a vision, a clear picture of what you want your life to look like. That vision becomes the driving force behind everything you do. It gives you a reason to push through the discomfort, to keep going when others quit. But hunger alone isn't enough. If it's not balanced by humility, it can lead to arrogance, entitlement, and ultimately failure. Is what keeps you grounded. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're capable, but also from understanding that you're never above learning, growing, or improving. Humility reminds you that success is not a solo effort. It's built on the shoulders of those who came before you, supported by the people around you, and shaped by the lessons you learn along the way. Humility is what keeps you open to feedback, willing to adapt, and ready to acknowledge your mistakes. It's the mindset that says, I've come far, but I still have so much more to learn. When you stay hungry, you're always reaching for the next level. But when you stay humble, you never lose sight of the journey that got you there. Success isn't a destination, it's a process. It's a series of moments, achievements, and lessons that shape you over time. If you forget that, if you start to believe you've made it, or that you're better than others because of your accomplishments, you risk losing everything you've worked so hard to build. Success can be fleeting for those who let their ego take the wheel. The world is full of people who start strong but falter along the way. They lose their hunger or let their success inflate their sense of self-importance. But true greatness lies in the ability to keep going, to stay committed, and to never let success change who you are at your core. Staying hungry and staying humble is not just about achieving your goals, it's about sustaining your success and continuing to grow long after you've reached them. Hunger and humility work hand in hand. Hunger drives you to aim higher, while humility keeps you grounded enough to understand that you're never done learning. It's this balance that allows you to navigate the challenges and triumphs of life with grace and resilience. When you're hungry, you don't settle for mediocrity. You demand excellence from yourself and those around you. But when you're humble, you remain approachable, teachable, and connected to the people and experiences that matter most. Success, at its core, is not just about personal achievement. It's about impact. It's about how your hard work, perseverance, and attitude inspire others to strive for their own greatness. When you stay hungry, you set an example of what's possible through dedication and effort. When you stay humble, you remind others that success is a journey, not a pedestal. You show them that it's not about being better than anyone else, it's about being better than you were yesterday. Every step of the way, there will be moments that test your hunger and your humility. There will be days when the fire in your belly feels like a flicker instead of a blaze. On those days, remind yourself of why you started. Revisit your vision, reconnect with your purpose, and reignite that hunger within you. And when success comes knocking, as it inevitably will if you stay the course, remember to celebrate without losing sight of the values that got you there. No one achieves greatness by accident. It takes intentional effort, unshakable focus, and a willingness to put in the work day after day. But it also takes the humility to understand that success is not an entitlement, it's a privilege. It's earned through sacrifice, perseverance, and a commitment to growth. And it's maintained by staying true to yourself no matter how far you climb. So, stay hungry. Keep that fire alive. Let it push you to dream bigger, work harder, and never settle for less than your best. But also, stay humble. Let humility be the foundation on which your success is built. Because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. And growth, after all, is the essence of true success. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes your perceptions, directs your actions, and ultimately determines your reality. Yet so many people underestimate its influence or fail to harness its true potential. The truth is, if you want to achieve greatness, you must first master your mindset. Your mind isn't just a passive observer of your circumstances, it's the architect of your life. It can be your greatest ally or your toughest adversary, depending on how you train it. Mastering your mindset begins with belief in yourself and in your potential. Without this foundation, you will falter at the first sign of difficulty. But belief is not something that magically appears, it is cultivated through intention and practice. You must train your mind to see possibilities where others see obstacles. You must convince yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals, even when evidence is scarce. It's not about blind optimism, it's about choosing to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. Your mindset determines how you interpret the events of your life. When challenges arise, you have a choice to see them as insurmountable barriers or as opportunities for growth. The world doesn't change based on your perception, but your ability to navigate it does. A mind trained to find solutions instead of dwelling on problems is a mind that will always move forward. Train yourself to ask the right questions. What can I learn from this? How can I turn this situation to my advantage? These questions shift your focus from limitations to possibilities. Focus is another critical aspect of mastering your mindset. The world is full of distractions, things vying for your attention and pulling you away from your vision. If you're not intentional about what you focus on, your mind will wander and your goals will slip further from your grasp. Training your mind to focus means learning to say no to what doesn't serve you. It means cutting out the noise, avoiding distractions, and committing fully to the tasks that align with your vision. Focus is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with consistent practice. But focus isn't just about where you direct your attention, it's also about how you maintain it in the face of negativity. Negativity is like a weed that can take root in your mind if you're not vigilant. It can come from external sources, criticism, doubt, fear, or from within, in the form of self-doubt and limiting beliefs. To master your mindset, you must reject negativity in all its forms. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means refusing to let negativity dictate your actions or your sense of self-worth. Negativity often finds its way into your mind through repetition. The more you hear something, whether it's a disparaging comment from someone else or a self-critical thought in your own mind, the more likely you are to believe it. The antidote to this is to actively replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Affirmations, visualization, and gratitude are powerful tools for this. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Visualize yourself achieving your goals. Take time each day to acknowledge the things you're grateful for. These practices shift your focus away from what's wrong and towards what's possible. Another key to mastering your mindset is self-awareness. You can't change what you're not aware of. Take the time to understand your thought patterns. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself and the beliefs you hold about what's possible. Are these beliefs serving you, or are they holding you back? Challenge the thoughts that limit you. Ask yourself, is this true? Or is it just a story I've been telling myself? The more you question your limiting beliefs, the more power you have to rewrite them. Mastering your mindset also requires discipline. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen without effort. You must commit to the process of growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's what allows you to push past fear, doubt, and resistance. Train your mind to associate discipline with empowerment, not restriction. Every small step you take towards building a stronger mindset is a step closer to becoming the person you want to be. Mastering your mindset is not about achieving perfection. It's about progress. There will be days when negativity creeps in, when focus wavers, or when self-doubt whispers in your ear. On those days, remind yourself that mastering your mindset is a lifelong journey. It's not about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Give yourself grace, but also hold yourself accountable. Growth happens in the moments when you choose to persevere, even when it's difficult. Your mind is your greatest asset, but it is also your responsibility. No one else can train it for you. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the focus you maintain are entirely within your control. By mastering your mindset, you take ownership of your life. You become the driver of your destiny, not a passenger carried along by circumstance. So train your mind to believe in your potential, to focus on your vision, and to reject negativity. When you do, you'll unlock a power within you that is unstoppable. Transformation is not an instant event, but a continuous journey. We often fall into the trap of believing that success requires perfection, that every step must be flawless and every effort impeccable. This mindset not only sets us up for disappointment, but also blinds us to the power of incremental progress. True growth lies in celebrating the small wins, the steady, consistent actions that compound over time into extraordinary achievements. Progress, not perfection, is the secret to long-lasting success. Life is rarely linear, and neither is personal development. It's easy to become disheartened when progress feels slow or when setbacks occur. But transformation is not about giant leaps. It's about the small, deliberate steps you take every single day. These steps may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create a ripple effect that can completely change the trajectory of your life. Small wins build momentum, and momentum is what carries you forward, even when the road gets tough. The pressure to be perfect can be paralyzing. It often leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and ultimately inaction. When you believe that anything less than perfection isn't worth celebrating, you rob yourself of the motivation and joy that come from acknowledging your efforts. Progress, on the other hand, shifts your focus. It reminds you that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. It teaches you to value the process as much as the outcome, to recognize that growth is happening even when it feels slow or uneven. Small wins are powerful because they reinforce positive behavior. Every time you accomplish a task, no matter how minor, you send a message to your mind that you're capable. This builds confidence and encourages you to take the next step. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, celebrating something as simple as drinking more water, taking a short walk, or choosing a healthier meal reinforces the habit of prioritizing your well-being. Over time, these small actions accumulate, creating a foundation for bigger, more significant changes. Transformation is often compared to planting a seed. You don't see results immediately, you don't expect a tree to grow overnight. But with consistent care, water, sunlight, and patience, that seed grows roots, sprouts, and eventually blossoms. The same is true for your goals. Each small win is like watering that seed. It may not seem like much at first, but it's essential for long-term growth. Without those consistent efforts, the seed would wither before it has a chance to thrive. It's important to remember that progress isn't always visible. Some of the most significant growth happens beneath the surface, in the unseen moments when you're laying the groundwork for future success. Just because you can't see immediate results doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Trust in the process and give yourself credit for showing up, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Progress is often about persistence, about continuing to move forward even when the finish line feels far away. Celebrating small wins also cultivates gratitude, which is a powerful motivator. When you take the time to acknowledge what you've accomplished, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's working. This positive reinforcement fuels your journey and makes the process more enjoyable. Gratitude keeps you grounded and reminds you that every effort, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. It transforms your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, allowing you to appreciate the progress you've made rather than fixating on how far you still have to go. Perfection, on the other hand, is a myth that often leads to burnout. When you set unrealistic standards for yourself, you create a cycle of frustration and disappointment. Perfectionism stifles creativity, discourages risk-taking, and makes you overly critical of your efforts. It shifts the focus away from growth and toward judgment. Progress, however, is forgiving. It allows room for mistakes, learning, and improvement. It acknowledges that setbacks are a natural part of the journey, and that every misstep is an opportunity to grow stronger. To celebrate progress, start by setting achievable milestones. Break your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. Each time you accomplish one of these steps, take a moment to acknowledge it. Celebrate in a way that feels meaningful to you. Whether it's writing down your accomplishment, sharing it with someone you trust, or simply taking a moment to reflect on how far you've come. These celebrations don't have to be grand. Their purpose is to remind you that you're moving forward and that your efforts matter. Another way to celebrate progress is to track it. Keep a journal, create a checklist, or use an app to document your achievements. Seeing your progress visually can be incredibly motivating, especially on days when you feel like you're not making any. Tracking your progress also helps you identify patterns and areas for improvement, giving you valuable insights into what's working and what needs adjustment. Progress is deeply personal. It's not about comparing your journey to someone else's or measuring your success against external standards. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday, about consistently showing up and putting in the work. Celebrate your progress in a way that honors your unique path and acknowledges the effort you've invested. Transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. It's built on a series of small, consistent actions that add up over time. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, you free yourself from the pressure to get everything right and instead embrace the joy of growth. Each small win brings you closer to your goals, and each step forward is a testament to your resilience and determination. Celebrate those steps, because they are the foundation of your success. In life, the most important competition is not with others, but with yourself. Society often teaches us to compare our achievements to those around us, creating a constant pressure to measure up to external standards. However, this mindset is both exhausting and counterproductive. True growth and fulfillment come from competing with who you were yesterday, striving to be better, stronger, and wiser with each passing day. This shift in perspective allows you to focus on your own journey, unburdened by the noise of comparison and the weight of others' expectations. When you measure your growth against someone else's journey, you're playing a losing game. Everyone's path is different, shaped by unique experiences, circumstances, and challenges. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10 will only lead to frustration and self-doubt. It's like trying to run a race on a track that doesn't align with your starting point or destination. Instead, the real question should be, how far have you come from where you started? Are you a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday? Competing with yourself means setting your own benchmarks for success. It's about identifying your personal goals, dreams, and values, and using them as the yardstick for your progress. This approach is liberating because it removes the need to conform to societal norms or external expectations. You define what success looks like for you, and you work toward it on your own terms. This kind of self-directed competition fosters authenticity, allowing you to focus on what truly matters to you rather than chasing someone else's idea of achievement. One of the most empowering aspects of being your own biggest competitor is that it shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you compete with others, you're often operating from a place of lack, feeling as though there's only so much success, happiness, or recognition to go around. But when you compete with yourself, you realize that your growth is limitless. There's no cap on how much you can learn, improve, or achieve. Your only constraint is the effort you're willing to invest in becoming the best version of yourself. This mindset also helps you build resilience. Life is full of setbacks, but when you're focused on your own progress, those setbacks become opportunities for growth rather than reasons to give up. Competing with yourself means learning to embrace failure as a natural part of the journey. Each stumble is a chance to learn, to refine your approach, and to come back stronger. This perspective makes you more adaptable and better equipped to handle the challenges that life inevitably throws your way. To compete with yourself effectively, you need to develop self-awareness. This involves taking an honest look at where you are, where you want to go, and what you need to do to bridge the gap. Self-awareness allows you to identify your strengths and weaknesses, to celebrate your achievements, and to acknowledge the areas where you still have room to grow. It's not about being overly critical of yourself, but about recognizing that there's always room for improvement and that the journey towards self-mastery is never-ending. Setting clear, measurable goals is another crucial aspect of being your own biggest competitor. These goals should be specific to you, reflecting your unique aspirations and priorities. Break them down into smaller, actionable steps that you can work on daily. Celebrate each milestone you reach, no matter how small, because each one represents a step forward on your journey. This process of setting and achieving personal goals keeps you motivated and focused, giving you a sense of purpose and direction. It's also important to track your progress. Keep a journal, create a vision board, or use an app to document your journey. Regularly review what you've accomplished and identify areas where you can improve. This practice not only keeps you accountable, but also provides tangible evidence of your growth, which can be incredibly motivating on days when you feel stuck or discouraged. Another key to competing with yourself is practicing self-compassion. Growth isn't always a linear process. There will be days when you fall short of your own expectations. When this happens, it's important to be kind to yourself. Acknowledge your effort, learn from your mistakes, and commit to doing better tomorrow. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. By treating yourself with compassion, you create an environment where you feel safe to take risks, to fail, and to keep pushing forward. Being your own biggest competitor also requires a strong focus on personal development. Invest in yourself by reading, learning new skills, and seeking out experiences that challenge and inspire you. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, who encourage you to be your best self. Take care of your physical and mental health, because your well-being is the foundation of everything else. The more you invest in yourself, the more you'll have to give to the world around you. That competing with yourself is a lifelong commitment. There's no finish line, no point where you can say, I've arrived. Growth is an ongoing process, and there's always more to learn, more to achieve, and more ways to become a better version of yourself. This journey is what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. By focusing on your own progress and embracing the process, you'll not only achieve your goals, but also discover a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction. So let go of the need to measure up to others. Stop comparing your journey to anyone else's and start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your dreams, and your potential. Compete with who you were yesterday, not with the world around you. When you do this, you'll unlock a level of fulfillment and success that no external validation can ever provide. Your greatest competition is staring back at you in the mirror, and every day is an opportunity to rise to the challenge and become a little better than you were before. In the journey of life, the greatest battle we face is not with the world around us, but with ourselves. Growth, progress, and true success come from within, from our daily commitment to becoming better than we were yesterday. When we focus on our own journey, silence distractions, celebrate our progress, and build resilience through self-awareness and discipline, we step into our true power. We learn that the path to greatness is not about perfection, but about persistence. Your growth isn't measured by someone else's achievements, it's measured by your own. Compete with yourself, celebrate your victories, and embrace every stumble as a stepping stone. Success is not a final destination, but an evolving process of becoming the best version of yourself. Stay hungry, stay humble, and above all, stay focused on you every single day. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your commitment to investing in your own greatness. May you continue to rise and thrive.
Ladies and gentlemen, not with your ears, but with the depths of your being. The truth is this: everyone who enters your life will one day leave. The hands you hold today may not always be there to hold yours tomorrow. But do not despair, for this is the way of life. It is not a curse, but a sacred design to awaken you to the infinite power within. The world teaches you to fear being alone. But I tell you, this solitude is not loneliness, it is the gateway to discovering who you truly are. When others walk away, they do not take your strength with them. They leave behind an empty space, a space you must fill with your own light. Stop chasing those who no longer wish to stay. Understand that their departure is not your loss, but your liberation. It is life whispering to you, turn inward, for there is a treasure here that you have overlooked. The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with yourself. When you rely on the external world to validate your worth, you are like a tree without roots, swayed by every wind. But when you root yourself in the infinite power of your mind, you become immovable. Begin now to see yourself as whole, even when others leave. Speak to yourself as though you are your greatest love, your most trusted ally. I am enough, you declare. And in that declaration, you will find all that you have ever sought in others. Solitude is not the absence of others, it is the presence of self. When you learn to survive alone, you awaken to a deeper truth: you were never truly alone. The infinite spirit within you is your constant companion, your unfailing guide. So do not fear when people leave. Release them with gratitude, for they have fulfilled their role in your story. And as they go, turn your gaze inward. There, in the quiet depths of your being, you will find the strength to not just survive, but to flourish. Life is a river, ever flowing and ever changing. The people, places, and moments that come into our lives are like ripples on the surface of that river, beautiful, fleeting, and impossible to hold. Yet we often find ourselves clinging to these ripples, desperate to freeze them in time, longing for them to remain exactly as they are. This attachment to permanence, to the illusion that things will stay the same, is the root of much of our suffering. Consider the relationships we cherish. When we love someone, we often wish for that connection to remain untouched by the tides of change. We imagine that love will always feel as it does in its most tender moments, that the bond will never fray, and that the person we care for will never leave. But people are not static beings. They grow, evolve, and sometimes drift away. To resist this truth is to resist the very nature of life. The same applies to our circumstances. When we achieve success, we want to hold on to it forever. When we experience joy, we want it to linger. But success can fade, and joy is as impermanent as the clouds in the sky. Seasons change, opportunities come and go, and even the brightest days eventually give way to night. This is not a flaw in the design of life, it is its essence. By clinging to what is transient, we set ourselves up for heartache. We grasp at relationships, possessions, and experiences, trying to keep them from slipping through our fingers. Yet the tighter we hold on, the more we feel the sting of loss when they inevitably change or fade away. Life does not offer guarantees, and nothing in this world is meant to remain exactly as it is. But herein lies an extraordinary truth. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we free ourselves from the chains of suffering. To see life as it truly is, a series of moments, each unique and irreplaceable, is to understand its profound beauty. Instead of clinging to what was or worrying about what might be, we can learn to live fully in the present, appreciating each moment for the gift that it is. Growth often comes from the very impermanence we resist. When a relationship ends, it may hurt deeply, but it also creates space for new connections, new lessons, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we lose something we value, it forces us to reassess what truly matters and to find strength we didn't know we had. Loss is not the end, it is a doorway to transformation. The world around us mirrors this truth. The seasons shift, flowers bloom and wither, the sun rises and sets. Nature does not mourn these changes, it embraces them as part of a greater cycle. In the same way, we are meant to flow with life, not against it. To cling to permanence is to deny ourselves the richness of life's ebb and flow. This does not mean we should become indifferent or detached. Loving deeply and cherishing what we have are integral parts of the human experience. But true love, whether for a person, a moment, or a dream, does not demand permanence. It understands that the beauty of something lies in its impermanence. A sunset is breathtaking precisely because it does not last forever. A flower's fragility is what makes it precious. Learning to let go is not about giving up, it is about trusting the process of life. It is about understanding that when one door closes, another opens. It is about realizing that we are never truly losing, we are simply transitioning from one chapter to the next. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we become more resilient. We stop fearing change and start welcoming it as an opportunity for growth. We no longer see endings as failures, but as natural progressions. We begin to find joy not in holding on, but in experiencing life fully, moment by moment. Letting go of the illusion of permanence is not easy. It requires courage to face uncertainty and faith to believe that what lies ahead will serve our highest good. But as we release our grip on what was and surrender to what is, we discover a profound sense of peace. We learn to trust that life, in all its impermanence, is guiding us exactly where we need to be. So let the river of life flow freely. Cherish the ripples as they come, but do not mourn their passing. Each moment, fleeting as it may be, holds its own unique beauty. By embracing the impermanence of life, we unlock the door to true freedom, growth, and a deeper appreciation for the ever-changing dance of existence. Within each of us lies a realm untouched by the chaos of the outside world, a sanctuary that holds the essence of who we truly are. This inner reality is the seat of our strength, the wellspring from which all that we desire and all that we are flows. Yet so often we seek validation, fulfillment, and peace from external sources, believing that our happiness depends on circumstances, people, or possessions. In doing so, we overlook the boundless power within us, the power to shape our lives, transform our experiences, and anchor ourselves in unwavering peace. Your imagination is not just a tool for idle daydreaming, it is the architect of your reality. Every thought, every vision you hold within your mind carries the potential to manifest in the world around you. When you learn to dwell in the sanctuary of your imagination, crafting thoughts and images that align with your deepest desires, you awaken a creative force that can move mountains. What you consistently imagine with conviction becomes the blueprint for your life. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner, therefore, by mastering your inner reality, you gain mastery over your external circumstances. Yet this power is often underestimated or misunderstood. Many believe that change must come from exerting control over the physical world, from pushing, striving, and battling against perceived obstacles. But the truth is far simpler and infinitely more profound. The world you experience is a mirror of your inner state. If you carry turmoil within, it will manifest as chaos around you. If you nurture peace and abundance within, your external reality will echo that harmony. Building a life rooted in inner peace begins with recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the creator of your experience. This realization is liberating. No longer do you need to wait for the world to grant you permission to be happy, successful, or fulfilled. You hold that power within you at every moment. The key is to turn inward, to cultivate a relationship with your inner self, and to consciously choose thoughts and feelings that uplift and empower you. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to remain centered and unshaken amidst them. It is the calm in the storm, the unwavering light that guides you through the darkest times. To access this peace, you must learn to quiet the noise of the external world and listen to the still, small voice within. Meditation, reflection, and deliberate imagination are powerful practices that help you connect with this inner sanctuary. As you spend more time in this sacred space, you will find that the opinions of others, the fluctuations of fortune, and the uncertainties of life lose their grip on you. Your inner reality is also a place of limitless potential. In this realm, there are no boundaries, no restrictions, and no limitations. You can envision yourself as the person you wish to become, living the life you dream of. And as you hold that vision with faith and persistence, it begins to take form in the physical world. This is not wishful thinking, it is the natural law of creation. Just as a seed, when nurtured, grows into a tree, so too does a thought, when sustained, grow into reality. But to harness the power of your inner reality, you must be vigilant about the thoughts you entertain. Doubt, fear, and negativity can creep in, distorting the visions you hold and undermining your creative power. To guard against this, make a habit of focusing on what you desire rather than what you fear. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and trust in your ability to create the life you envision. It is also vital to approach this process with patience and trust. Just as a farmer does not dig up the seeds to check their growth, you must not doubt the seeds of thought you plant in your imagination. Trust that the unseen forces of life are working on your behalf, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your vision to fruition. The more you dwell in the sanctuary of your inner reality, the less you will depend on the world around you to dictate your sense of self-worth and happiness. You will become unshakable, rooted in the knowledge that everything you need is already within you. This is true freedom, the ability to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are the master of your destiny, the creator of your experience. As you cultivate this inner strength, you will find that your outer world begins to shift in ways that seem almost magical. Opportunities will arise, challenges will dissolve, and relationships will flourish. This is the power of inner reality. It transforms not only your perception but also your experience of life. And in this transformation, you will discover a profound truth: the peace, joy, and fulfillment you have sought were never outside of you, they were within you all along. True freedom begins when you realize that everything you need to feel whole, content, and fulfilled already resides within you. Yet so much of life is spent seeking validation, security, and happiness from external sources, whether through relationships, possessions, or social approval. This dependence, while often comforting in the moment, slowly erodes your spirit. It creates a cycle of reliance where your sense of well-being hinges on factors beyond your control. But when you cultivate self-sufficiency, you reclaim your power. You discover that liberation is not found in others, but in your ability to stand firm within yourself. Dependence on others, while natural to a degree, becomes detrimental when it dictates your happiness or self-worth. When you rely on external forces to provide fulfillment, you surrender your autonomy and tether yourself to the ever-changing tides of life. People may leave, circumstances may shift, and possessions may fade, leaving you vulnerable and unanchored. To build a life rooted in self-sufficiency is to anchor yourself in something unshakable, your own inner strength and resilience. Self-sufficiency does not mean isolation or rejecting help from others. It is not about closing yourself off from meaningful connections or refusing the beauty of shared experiences. Rather, it is about ensuring that your foundation is strong enough to withstand any storm. It is the ability to find joy in solitude, to pursue your goals without waiting for approval, and to trust in your capacity to navigate life's challenges on your own terms. The journey towards self-sufficiency begins with self-awareness. You must first recognize the areas where you have outsourced your power. Perhaps you seek constant reassurance from others, feeling uneasy when left alone. Maybe you derive your self-worth from external achievements, needing accolades or recognition to feel valuable. Or you might rely on material possessions to create a sense of security. Identifying these dependencies is the first step to breaking free from them. Once you've recognized your patterns, the next step is to shift your focus inward. Instead of looking to others to fill emotional voids, turn to yourself. Ask yourself what truly makes you happy, not what you've been told should make you happy. Spend time exploring your passions, cultivating your skills, and nurturing your inner world. As you invest in yourself, you'll find that the need for external validation diminishes. You become your own source of fulfillment. Building self-sufficiency also requires embracing solitude. Many people fear being alone, associating it with loneliness or a lack of connection. But solitude is not something to fear, it is a sacred space where you can reconnect with yourself. In solitude, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. You learn to enjoy your own company and to draw strength from within. When you are comfortable being alone, you become less dependent on the presence of others to feel complete. Another key aspect of self-sufficiency is cultivating emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. But when you depend solely on others to help you navigate difficulties, you weaken your ability to cope on your own. Emotional resilience is the ability to face adversity with grace, to adapt to change, and to find strength in the midst of uncertainty. It comes from trusting your capacity to overcome obstacles, no matter how daunting they may seem. Financial independence is another important component of self-sufficiency. When you rely on others for financial support, you limit your freedom to make choices and live on your own terms. By taking control of your financial well-being, you create opportunities for yourself and gain the confidence that comes with knowing you can stand on your own 2 feet. This doesn't mean you have to achieve wealth overnight. It means taking intentional steps toward managing your resources wisely and building a life that aligns with your values. At its core, self-sufficiency is about empowerment. It is about recognizing that you are enough, that you have within you everything you need to create a life of meaning and purpose. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of dependency and reclaiming your autonomy. This liberation is not only a gift to yourself but also to others. When you are self-sufficient, you can engage in relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You can give without expecting in return and love without fear of loss because you are not dependent on others to complete you. The path to self-sufficiency is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It requires courage to face your fears, determination to build your strengths, and faith in your ability to create a fulfilling life. But as you take each step, you will feel a profound sense of freedom. You will no longer be bound by the actions or opinions of others. You will no longer fear being alone, because you will know that you are never truly alone. You have yourself. And that is enough. In this state of liberation, you will discover a truth that transforms your life. Fulfillment is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you create within. By cultivating self-sufficiency, you unlock the power to live with purpose, peace, and unshakable confidence. And that, above all else, is true freedom. Rejection often feels like a sharp and painful blow to the heart. It stirs feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and sometimes even despair. But what if rejection is not an end but a profound redirection? What if it is life's way of guiding you toward a higher purpose, one that you could not have reached if the door you were clinging to had not closed? To see rejection as redirection is to shift your perspective, recognizing that what feels like loss is often the seed of transformation. When people leave your life, it can feel like a betrayal or a failure. We naturally form attachments, seeking comfort and stability in relationships. However, not all connections are meant to last forever. Some people enter your life for a season, playing a role in your growth before their part in your story concludes. Their departure, while painful, creates space for new opportunities, lessons, and relationships that align more closely with your journey. Life operates in ways that often defy immediate understanding. In the moment, it is hard to see the larger picture or the reasons behind certain events. But with time and reflection, patterns emerge, revealing how rejection or loss was a necessary part of your evolution. Perhaps a breakup led you to discover your own strength and independence. Maybe being passed over for a job opened the door to an opportunity that was far more fulfilling. What appears as rejection is often a nudge, or sometimes a shove in a direction that better serves your growth and potential. Rejection also teaches resilience. Each time you face the pain of being turned away or let go, you have the choice to rise stronger. It is an opportunity to reaffirm your self-worth independent of others' opinions or decisions. Instead of seeing rejection as a reflection of your inadequacy, view it as a sign that something better awaits you. The process of overcoming rejection builds character, teaching you patience, perseverance, and trust in the unfolding of life. The transformation often begins in the shadow of loss. When familiar structures or relationships crumble, You are forced to confront yourself in a way that comfort and stability never demanded. You are invited to explore who you are without the roles, titles, or connections that once defined you. This exploration can be uncomfortable, even frightening, but it is also liberating. It is in these moments of uncertainty that you discover new facets of yourself, strengths, passions, and dreams that were hidden beneath the surface. The pain of rejection also encourages introspection. It prompts you to ask meaningful questions. Was this person, job, or situation truly aligned with who I am and what I want? What can I learn from this experience? How can I grow and move forward? These questions lead to deeper self-awareness, helping you make choices that are more authentic and intentional. In this way, rejection becomes a teacher, guiding you to greater clarity about your values and goals. Rejection often protects you from paths that are not meant for you. It may close doors to relationships or opportunities that, had they continued, might have caused more harm than good. While it's difficult to accept this truth in the moment, hindsight often reveals how rejection saved you from settling for less than you deserve. Trusting this process requires faith in life's wisdom and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. When you embrace rejection as redirection, you also learn to let go of resistance. Clinging to people or situations that are trying to leave your life only prolongs your pain. Instead, release them with gratitude for the role they played in your journey. This act of letting go is not a sign of weakness, but of courage and wisdom. It shows that you trust life to guide you towards something greater. The transformation that follows rejection is not immediate. It requires patience and an open heart. There will be moments of doubt, sadness, and longing, but these emotions are part of the healing process. As you move through them, you begin to notice the gifts hidden within the experience. You may find new opportunities, meet people who inspire and uplift you, or uncover a deeper sense of purpose. Each step forward reinforces the truth that rejection is not the end, it is a beginning. Rejection, then, is a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone, confront your fears, and embrace change. It challenges you to redefine what success, love, and fulfillment mean to you. And most importantly, it redirects you toward paths that are in alignment with your highest potential. When you look back on moments of rejection, you may realize that they were some of the most pivotal points in your life. They pushed you to grow, to evolve, and to become more fully yourself. What initially felt like loss transformed into gain, and what seemed like an ending became a new beginning. In embracing rejection as redirection, you cultivate a profound trust in life's process. You learn to see challenges as opportunities, losses as lessons, and endings as doorways to new beginnings. This perspective empowers you to move forward with courage and hope, knowing that even in the face of rejection, life is always working for your highest good. In a world that is constantly moving, filled with noise, distractions, and the demands of daily life, solitude can often be misunderstood. Many view solitude as a form of punishment, a state to be avoided at all costs. The idea of being alone can bring discomfort, fear, or even anxiety. We've been conditioned to believe that being surrounded by people, engaging in constant activity, or staying busy is a measure of success or happiness. Yet the truth is, solitude is not a punishment. It is a sacred gift, a space where you can reconnect with your true essence, find clarity, and rediscover the peace and strength that lies within. When you embrace solitude, you step away from the external chaos that often clouds your mind and your emotions. In silence, you can hear your own thoughts, your own heart. Without the interference of others' opinions or the noise of the world, you can tune in to what is truly important to you. Solitude provides a rare opportunity for introspection. It allows you to sift through your emotions, your desires, and your dreams. Without the pressure to conform to societal expectations or please others, you are free to be yourself, to truly understand who you are, what you want, and where you're going. You can shed the roles you play for others, the friend, the colleague, the partner, the parent, and return to your most authentic self. It's in these quiet moments that you can strip away the layers of external influence that often mask your true nature. You begin to rediscover the dreams, passions, and values that may have been overshadowed by the demands of everyday life. Solitude allows you to connect with your inner wisdom, the part of you that knows what is best for your journey, your growth, and your happiness. Solitude is also a powerful tool for healing. In a world that encourages constant activity and distraction, it can be easy to ignore emotional wounds or unresolved issues. But in the stillness of solitude, you can face these challenges without the pressure of external distractions. It's a space where you can reflect, process, and release the emotional baggage that you may have been carrying. Solitude gives you the space to let go of the past, to forgive yourself and others, and to make peace with your experiences. It provides the necessary time to heal, rebuild, and restore your energy and emotional well-being. The fear of being alone often stems from a deep-rooted belief that solitude equals loneliness. However, loneliness is not the same as solitude. Loneliness arises when we feel disconnected from others and from ourselves, while solitude is the conscious choice to be alone in order to reconnect with our inner self. Loneliness is the absence of connection, but solitude is the presence of self-awareness. When you learn to be at peace with your own company, you stop fearing solitude. Instead of seeking external validation or the presence of others to feel complete, you find wholeness within. In this way, solitude becomes a source of strength rather than something to fear. You also learn to trust yourself. The constant noise and distractions of daily life can often drown out your own voice, leaving you unsure of your decisions and your direction. But when you are alone, you are forced to rely on your own judgment, to trust your own intuition, and to make decisions based on your true desires, rather than on the expectations or opinions of others. Solitude gives you the clarity and confidence to follow your own path, unapologetically and without hesitation. Many people fear that they will miss out on life if they spend time alone. They worry that solitude will cause them to become disconnected from the world, but the opposite is true. Solitude enhances your connection to the world by first deepening your connection to yourself. When you are centered and at peace within, you bring a higher level of awareness and presence to your interactions with others. You are no longer seeking fulfillment from external sources, but rather from your own wellspring of peace, love, and understanding. This inner peace radiates outward, enhancing your relationships and your ability to engage with the world in a meaningful way. Solitude offers the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It is in these quiet moments that you can explore new ideas, develop new passions, and cultivate your creativity. When you are not constantly distracted by the demands of others or the noise of the world, you give your mind the space to innovate, reflect, and expand. It is in solitude that you can listen to the quiet whispers of your soul, the ones that often get drowned out by the chaos of daily life. These whispers guide you toward your higher purpose, your truest self. It also teaches you self-discipline and patience. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, the stillness of solitude requires a certain level of patience and acceptance. It teaches you to be comfortable with the ebb and flow of life, to trust that everything will unfold in its own time. In solitude, you cultivate the ability to be present with yourself, to sit with your thoughts, to allow your emotions to rise and fall without judgment, and to embrace the moments of stillness rather than seeking constant action. It is a sacred practice, a gift that allows you to reconnect with your true essence. It is a space where you can find clarity, healing, and strength. It is a time to rediscover your passions, to nurture your creativity, and to listen to the wisdom that resides within you. By embracing solitude, you come to realize that you are never truly alone, for you carry the entirety of your being within you, and that in itself is a source of limitless peace and power. Surviving alone is often thought of as a matter of physical endurance, how long you can last without help, how well you can provide for yourself, and how capable you are of managing your immediate needs. However, true survival, especially in moments of solitude, is far less about physical strength and much more about mental resilience. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes your experiences, your perception of reality, and ultimately your ability to thrive. If you want to survive and flourish in solitude, you must first master your mind. In times of challenge, your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can either empower you to overcome obstacles, or it can fill you with doubt, fear, and negativity. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often lies in their ability to control their thoughts and emotions. The key is to recognize that your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly focus on what you lack, on the things that are missing from your life, your mind will align with scarcity. But if you train your mind to focus on abundance, on the endless possibilities and resources available to you, you will open the door to growth and success. Abundance is not just about material wealth or external circumstances, it is a mindset. It is the belief that no matter what your external circumstances may be, you are always capable of creating more. When you focus on abundance, you are aligning your thoughts with the idea that there is more than enough for you to succeed and prosper. This mindset shifts your energy from fear and limitation to possibility and opportunity. You begin to see that everything you need is already within you, and the universe is constantly presenting you with ways to grow, evolve, and thrive. On the other hand, focusing on lack keeps you trapped in a cycle of scarcity. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you don't have enough, whether that's money, love, support, or resources. This mindset clouds your vision and limits your potential. The more you dwell on what's missing, the more you attract experiences that reinforce that feeling of lack. You begin to believe that survival depends on external factors, on people or circumstances that are beyond your control. But the truth is that true survival is rooted in mental resilience, in your ability to focus your mind on what is possible rather than what is not. One of the first steps in mastering your mind is learning to control your thoughts. This means recognizing when negative or limiting thoughts arise and actively choosing to replace them with positive, empowering ones. It's easy to let your mind spiral into fear, worry, and self-doubt. But with practice, you can train your mind to let go of these destructive patterns and replace them with thoughts that support your growth. When you catch yourself thinking about what you don't have, pause and shift your focus to what you do have. Instead of thinking, I don't have enough time, tell yourself, I have all the time I need to accomplish my goals. This simple shift in perspective helps you to step into a mindset of abundance. A key aspect of mastering your mind is learning to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful, and they can either fuel your growth or hinder it. When you allow your emotions to control you, you become a victim of circumstance, reacting to everything around you instead of proactively shaping your own experience. However, when you take control of your emotional responses, you begin to operate from a place of power. You can choose how to respond to any situation, whether it's one of joy, frustration, sadness, or fear. Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, you can use them as signals to guide your decisions and refine your mindset. For example, if you feel fear, use it as an opportunity to examine what you're afraid of and challenge that fear. If you feel frustration, take a step back and ask yourself what's within your control and what's not. By taking responsibility for your emotional state, you regain control of your mind and your life. Another powerful tool in mastering your mind is meditation. Meditation allows you to quiet the noise of the world and your own thoughts, creating space for clarity and peace. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment and to create mental stillness. In this stillness, you can connect to your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your deepest desires. It's in these moments of quiet reflection that you gain the clarity to make decisions aligned with your true purpose. The more you practice meditation, the more you cultivate mental resilience. You learn to detach from the constant chatter of the mind and to focus on the present moment. In this space, you are free from the worries of the past and the fears of the future. You become fully engaged in the present, and from this place of centeredness, you can approach life with greater calm and confidence. A final aspect of mastering your mind is cultivating gratitude. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you begin to attract more of the things that bring you joy, abundance, and peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, reminding you that you already have everything you need to succeed. By incorporating a daily gratitude practice into your life, you retrain your mind to focus on the positive, which in turn helps you to maintain a mindset of abundance, no matter what challenges you face. Mastering your mind is a journey, not a destination. It takes consistent effort, practice, and patience. But when you make the decision to train your mind to focus on abundance and not lack, you unlock a powerful force within you. You realize that survival, thriving, and fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances, but on your ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. In this space of mental resilience, you become the creator of your own reality, capable of overcoming any obstacle and achieving any goal. In conclusion, mastering your mind is the key to thriving in solitude and surviving life's challenges. It is not physical strength, but the resilience of your thoughts and emotions that ultimately determines your success. By focusing on abundance instead of lack, training your mind to cultivate positive thoughts, managing your emotions with wisdom, and practicing gratitude, you create a foundation of inner strength that allows you to navigate life with confidence and peace. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool, and when you harness it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you for your attention and for allowing me the opportunity to share these thoughts with you. May you continue to grow, evolve, and master your mind, creating a life rooted in abundance, peace, and inner strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about power, not the kind that comes from titles or possessions, but the kind that lives within you. Real power is quiet, intentional, and unwavering. It's the ability to know what to share and what to hold back. And today we're talking about 5 things every woman must keep private from men. Not every man who listens deserves your trust. Your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, these are not weaknesses, they are your humanity. Share them only with those who have proven they will honor and protect them. Some battles are meant to be fought in the quiet corners of your soul. Dream big, but dream for yourself. Before you tell anyone your goals, ask yourself, will they support this vision, or will they shrink it? A seed grows in silence, not under scrutiny. When your aspirations are fully formed, then, and only then, can you decide who deserves to know. The struggles you faced are not open invitations for judgment or pity. They are the chapters of a book only you hold the rights to publish. You decide how much of that story is shared, and more importantly, how it's framed. Remember, your scars are your strength, not someone else's ammunition. Money isn't just about wealth, it's about freedom. Your financial decisions are a reflection of your independence. Keep them guarded, not as a secret, but as a strategy. A man who values you will respect your boundaries and your moves, even if he doesn't know every detail. Ladies, the element of surprise is powerful. Don't lay all your cards on the table. Your plans, your next big move, these are yours to shape without outside interference. Reveal them only when they're ready to shine, not when they're still fragile ideas. In this life, you are the architect of your destiny. Choose carefully what you build and who you invite into your design. The world doesn't need to know every piece of you to admire your strength. Stay poised, stay grounded, and always, always stay true to yourself. There are certain parts of your heart and mind that are sacred places no one should trespass unless they have earned the right. Vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, they are the essence of your humanity, the raw and unpolished truth of who you are. But not everyone deserves to hold this truth. In a world that often mistakes openness for trust, it's crucial to remember that not every listener is a confidant, and not every inquiry is born from care. When you reveal your deepest fears or insecurities to someone who has not proven their loyalty, you risk exposing yourself to judgment, misunderstanding, or even exploitation. Vulnerability is a gift, not a free-for-all. It is the foundation of authentic connection, but it must be offered with discernment. Sharing too quickly or with the wrong person can leave you feeling drained, unheard, or even betrayed. Not everyone has the emotional capacity to hold your truths gently, and that's okay, it's not their role. It's your role to protect what matters most. Keeping certain vulnerabilities private doesn't mean you're hiding who you are or being dishonest. It means you value yourself enough to ensure that your story is held by those who will cherish it, not distort it. Think of your vulnerabilities as the most delicate part of your soul. You wouldn't hand a fragile heirloom to someone who doesn't know how to handle it with care. In the same way, the tender parts of your being deserve to be shielded until you are certain they will be received with respect and compassion. The act of safeguarding your vulnerabilities also reinforces your inner strength. When you maintain control over what you share, you retain power over your narrative. You become the gatekeeper of your emotions, deciding who enters and who stays out. This is not about building walls to keep people away, but about creating boundaries that protect your well-being. Boundaries are not barriers, they are the framework within which healthy relationships can flourish. There's an undeniable strength in selective vulnerability. When you choose to reveal your struggles or fears, it should be to someone who has proven their ability to support you without judgment. Someone who doesn't see your pain as a flaw, but as a part of your journey. These individuals are rare and precious, and they often come into your life only after you've cultivated the discernment to recognize them. Until then, it's okay to keep certain parts of yourself private. It's also worth remembering that not every moment of vulnerability needs to be shared with another person. Sometimes the best confidant is yourself. Journaling, meditating, or simply sitting with your thoughts can help you process your emotions without needing external validation. In doing so, you not only preserve your sacred spaces, but also build a deeper relationship with yourself. You learn to trust your own judgment, to comfort yourself in times of need, and to recognize your worth independent of others' opinions. When you keep your vulnerability sacred, you are not isolating yourself, you are empowering yourself. You're ensuring that the essence of who you are is not diluted by unnecessary exposure. This isn't about mistrust or fear, it's about honoring your journey. Every scar, every fear, every doubt is a testament to your resilience. It's a reminder that you've survived, that you've learned, and that you're still standing. Not everyone deserves to know the battles you fought or the wounds you've healed. Those stories are yours to share, not theirs to demand. So, take your time. Learn to observe before you reveal. Trust is not built overnight, and it's not something to give away lightly. When you do choose to open up, make sure it's to someone who has proven their ability to listen without judgment and to support without conditions. Until then, hold your vulnerabilities close. They are not for everyone to see, because they are a testament to your strength, your humanity, and your journey. And those things are sacred. Your aspirations are the seeds of your future, delicate and full of potential. They begin as quiet whispers in your heart, ideas that ignite a spark of excitement and hope. These dreams are yours first and foremost, belonging to no one but you. Their power lies in their connection to your innermost desires, to the parts of you that see beyond the present and dare to imagine something greater. But like all precious things, they need protection. Not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone is meant to. When a dream is in its infancy, it is vulnerable. It's still finding its form, still solidifying into something real. This is the stage where it needs nurturing, not scrutiny. Sharing your aspirations too soon can expose them to criticism, doubt, and negativity. Even well-meaning people might unintentionally diminish your dream by projecting their fears onto it. They may question its practicality, point out potential challenges, or suggest alternative paths that align with their vision, not yours. While feedback can be valuable, it must come from those who genuinely support you and believe in your potential. Dreams grow stronger in silence because they have the space to take root without interference. When you keep your aspirations private, you give yourself time to explore them fully, to understand what they mean to you and how they align with your values. This silence is not about secrecy or mistrust. It's about creating a safe space for your vision to flourish. It allows you to focus on the joy and excitement of your dream without the noise of external opinions. There's a profound power in holding something sacred within yourself. When you resist the urge to share prematurely, you cultivate a sense of ownership and responsibility over your aspirations. They become a part of you, something you carry with pride and determination. This quiet confidence fuels your actions, guiding you toward your goals without the need for validation from others. It's a reminder that your dreams don't need to be understood by everyone, they only need to be understood by you. As your dream begins to take shape, you'll naturally start to identify the people who can help nurture it. These are the ones who listen without judgment, who encourage you without imposing their own agenda. They are the ones who see your potential and believe in your ability to achieve it. Sharing your aspirations with such individuals can be a source of motivation and inspiration, but even then, it's important to be selective. Not every aspect of your vision needs to be disclosed, and not every milestone requires an audience. The most meaningful progress often happens behind the scenes. It's also worth recognizing that some people may react negatively to your aspirations because of their own limitations or insecurities. They might feel threatened by your ambition or compare it to their own unfulfilled dreams. Their reactions have more to do with them than with you. This is why discernment is essential. Share your vision only with those who uplift you, not with those who might unintentionally or intentionally diminish your light. Keeping your aspirations close allows you to develop resilience. When you're not seeking constant approval or reassurance, you learn to trust yourself. You build the strength to move forward, even when doubts arise or obstacles appear. This inner strength is crucial, because every dream comes with its challenges. The path to achieving your aspirations is rarely linear, and there will be moments when you question yourself. In those times, the quiet foundation you've built becomes your anchor, reminding you why you started and why it matters. Your aspirations are a reflection of your unique journey and purpose. They are the compass guiding you toward a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. By keeping them private in their early stages, you honor their significance and give them the chance to grow into something extraordinary. When the time comes to share, you'll do so not out of a need for validation, but from a place of confidence and clarity. Your dreams are yours first. They belong to the part of you that dares to hope and believe. Protect them, nurture them, and allow them to grow in the silence of your heart. When they are ready to bloom, the world will see their beauty, but only because you took the time to let them thrive in private. The pain you've endured is part of your story, a testament to your resilience and growth. It holds lessons that have shaped you, moments that tested your resolve and forged your strength. But it is not a badge to wear for recognition or sympathy. Pain, while powerful, should never define you. Instead, it is a chapter in your journey, one that teaches you and prepares you for what lies ahead. Holding on to it as an identity or sharing it indiscriminately can leave you vulnerable to judgment, misunderstanding, or even manipulation. Pain has a way of transforming us, revealing depths of courage we didn't know we possessed. It strips away illusions and forces us to confront the truth of who we are. In those moments, we discover our capacity to endure, to heal, and to rise. This strength is deeply personal and sacred. It's not something to be flaunted or offered up to anyone who asks. Sharing your pain can create connections, but only if it's with those who respect its significance and honor the growth it represents. When you openly display your past pain, especially to those who haven't earned your trust, you risk it being used against you. Some may view your struggles as weaknesses, exploiting them to gain control or diminish your worth. Others might misinterpret your experiences, turning your journey into a narrative that suits their perspective rather than honoring your truth. This is why it's vital to be selective about what you share and with whom. Your pain is not a weapon to wield or a shield to hide behind. It's a lesson to carry quietly, guiding your actions and decisions. There's a fine line between acknowledging your pain and allowing it to define you. When you let past hurts become a badge, you risk living in the shadow of what has happened, rather than stepping into the light of what can be. Carrying pain as a badge often means seeking validation through it, allowing it to become a part of your identity that others see first. But you are so much more than what you've endured. Your essence, your dreams, and your potential are not confined by your scars. They are illuminated by your resilience. It's important to process your pain, to sit with it, understand it, and learn from it. This process allows you to extract its lessons without letting it overshadow your life. Pain teaches us empathy, patience, and strength. It can make us more compassionate and understanding, but only if we approach it with the intent to grow. Clinging to it or using it as a constant point of reference can stunt this growth, keeping you tethered to moments that were meant to teach you and then release you. Your past pain should serve as a guide, not a residence. It can inform your choices, helping you recognize patterns and avoid pitfalls, but it should never dictate your future. By holding on to the lessons while releasing the emotional weight, you create space for new experiences and opportunities. This balance allows you to honor your journey without being consumed by it. When you meet someone new, whether in friendship or love, it's natural to want to share parts of your story. But be mindful of how much you reveal and why. Sharing your pain with the wrong person can lead to exploitation or misunderstanding, while sharing it with someone who truly values you can deepen trust and connection. Take your time to discern who deserves to hear your story. The right people will see your strength, not your wounds. Your past pain is a chapter, not the whole book. It's a part of what makes you who you are, but it's not the entirety of your identity. Don't allow anyone to reduce you to your struggles or to use them as a means to control you. Your pain is your own, a private reminder of what you've overcome and the strength you've built. It's a quiet power, a lesson that lives within you and propels you forward. You are not your pain. You are the strength that emerged from it, the wisdom it imparted, and the hope it couldn't extinguish. Hold your past pain as a lesson, not a badge. Let it shape you but not confine you. The world doesn't need to know every battle you fought. It only needs to see the light in your eyes that says, I've endured, and I am still here. Financial independence is more than just the ability to pay your bills. It's the foundation of your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to shape your own future. Money represents more than material wealth. It's a tool for security, choice, and self-expression. When you have control over your finances, you gain the power to decide how you live your life. This independence, however, is not something to be taken lightly or casually shared with others, particularly when it comes to relationships. Your financial moves are your business, and how you manage your money should remain a personal and strategic affair. There is strength in keeping your financial matters private and your actions deliberate. Not every decision you make, every goal you set, or every step you take toward financial growth needs to be disclosed to others. The more you share about your financial situation, the more you open the door to judgment, unsolicited opinions, or even undue expectations from those around you. Financial independence is deeply personal. It allows you to make choices that align with your values, ambitions, and priorities without being beholden to someone else's approval. When you share too much about your financial situation, particularly with men or in romantic relationships, you risk creating an imbalance. Money can easily become a source of conflict, a point of leverage, or a shared obligation that was never intended to be. By keeping your financial moves private, you maintain control over your resources and decisions, ensuring that your independence remains intact. Strategic financial management means thinking long-term and acting with purpose. It's about setting goals, saving diligently, and investing wisely. These are actions that speak louder than words, and their results will show over time. There's no need to announce your plans or seek validation from others. In fact, discussing your finances openly can sometimes attract the wrong kind of attention, whether it's envy, manipulation, or pressure to share what you've worked so hard to achieve. This doesn't mean you can't seek advice or guidance. When needed, there's wisdom in consulting experts or trusted mentors about financial matters. But even then, it's important to approach these conversations with discernment, sharing only what's necessary and keeping the details of your overall strategy to yourself. Not everyone has your best interests at heart, and not everyone needs to know the intricacies of your financial life. When it comes to relationships, financial independence is especially crucial. It's easy for financial matters to become entangled in the dynamics of a partnership, leading to complications or even a loss of autonomy. By maintaining control over your finances and setting clear boundaries, you protect yourself from becoming financially dependent on someone else, or conversely, from feeling obligated to support someone else's financial needs. Sharing financial responsibilities in a relationship is natural and sometimes necessary, but it should be done with clear communication and mutual respect. Even in these cases, it's wise to retain a level of independence, ensuring that you always have access to your own resources and the ability to make decisions for yourself. This isn't about secrecy or mistrust, it's about safeguarding your autonomy and ensuring that you never feel trapped by financial circumstances. Your financial independence also serves as a powerful example to others, especially younger generations or those who look up to you. It shows that self-reliance is achievable and that money can be managed thoughtfully and strategically. It's a silent but impactful statement that you value yourself enough to take control of your financial future. Your financial moves are about more than just money, they're about empowerment. Every decision you make, every dollar you save or invest, is a step toward creating the life you want. These moves are not for show, they're for you. They represent your dedication to your goals, your ability to plan for the future, and your refusal to let anyone else dictate your worth or your choices. Financial independence is your power, and it grows stronger when it is managed with intention and privacy. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Build your wealth, protect your resources, and chart your path with confidence and discretion. By doing so, you ensure that your financial future remains in your hands, and that is a power no one can take from you. Self-worth is the cornerstone of your identity, the inner foundation upon which your confidence, decisions, and relationships are built. It is not something anyone else has the right to define, manipulate, or diminish. Your value is intrinsic, something that exists simply because you do. It's not earned through achievements, validated by others, or tied to external factors. It belongs to you, and it's non-negotiable. When you allow others to define your worth, you give them control over your sense of self. This opens the door to insecurity, self-doubt, and a constant need for validation. Your self-worth becomes dependent on the opinions, actions, or approval of others, leaving you vulnerable to their judgments and whims. But you were never meant to live like this. True self-worth comes from within, rooted in an unwavering belief in your own value, regardless of what the world around you says. Your worth is not determined by how others perceive you. It's not about being liked, accepted, or praised. These things may feel good in the moment, but they are fleeting and external. True worth is steady, grounded in an unshakable knowing that you are enough as you are. It's about recognizing your unique qualities, respecting your boundaries, and honoring the person you've become. It's about standing firm in your value, even when others fail to see it or try to challenge it. One of the greatest acts of self-love is refusing to let anyone dictate your worth. This means setting boundaries with people who diminish you, walking away from situations that compromise your integrity, and rejecting narratives that make you feel less than. It means choosing yourself over the need to fit in, to please, or to be everything to everyone. This is not selfish, it's essential. When you stand firm in your self-worth, you teach others how to treat you with respect, dignity, and appreciation. Your worth does not increase or decrease based on your mistakes or successes. It is constant, unchanging. Society often tries to tie self-worth to accomplishments, appearance, or status, creating the illusion that you must earn your value. But this is a lie. You are valuable simply because you exist. Your worth isn't something you prove, it's something you claim. No failure can take it away, and no victory can add to it. Understanding this frees you from the exhausting pursuit of perfection and allows you to live authentically. Cultivating self-worth requires inner work. It means silencing the critical voices, both external and internal, that tell you you're not good enough. It means unlearning the idea that your value depends on what you do or how you compare to others. Instead, it's about affirming your inherent worth daily, reminding yourself that you are deserving of love, respect, and opportunity just as you are. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's knowing your value and refusing to settle for less. In relationships, your self-worth sets the tone. When you value yourself, you attract people who value you too. You don't accept less than you deserve, and you don't compromise your needs for the sake of pleasing others. Instead, you build connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Relationships become healthier when both individuals enter them with a strong sense of their own worth, creating a dynamic where neither depends on the other for validation. Recognizing your worth also means recognizing that others cannot see it if they're not meant to. Not everyone will understand your value, and that's okay. Their inability to see your light doesn't dim it. It reflects their own limitations, not yours. You are not here to prove yourself to anyone. The people who matter will see your worth without you having to convince them. Self-worth is about owning who you are. It's about standing tall in your truth, embracing your strengths and flaws, and knowing that you are whole and complete. It's about rejecting the need to shrink, to conform, or to seek approval. No one can take away your value unless you let them, and no one can define it but you. You are the keeper of your worth, and it is non-negotiable. Protect it fiercely, nurture it daily, and never let anyone make you question it. Your value is infinite, your presence is purposeful, and your worth is undeniable. Trust in that, and live your life as the empowered, confident person you were always meant to be. The power of your next step lies in its secrecy. It is your hidden strength, your untapped advantage, and the element of surprise that keeps you ahead in life. Your plans, when concealed, are protected from the scrutiny, interference, and opinions of others. They remain yours to shape, refine, and execute without external distractions or pressures. This is not about secrecy for its own sake. It's about safeguarding your vision until it is strong enough to withstand the world. When you share your plans prematurely, you open them up to potential criticism or negativity. Even well-meaning individuals can unknowingly dampen your enthusiasm or plant seeds of doubt. The weight of their opinions can make you second-guess yourself, stall your progress, or even abandon your plans altogether. Keeping your next step private ensures that your vision remains untainted by outside voices. It gives you the freedom to dream boldly and act decisively without fear of judgment. Secrecy also prevents interference. Not everyone who hears your plans has your best interests at heart. Some might undermine your efforts, either out of jealousy, competition, or a simple misunderstanding of your goals. By keeping your next move to yourself, you eliminate the risk of sabotage, whether intentional or accidental. Your plans remain in your control, free from outside manipulation. There is immense strength in moving quietly. When your actions speak louder than your words, you build credibility and respect. Results are undeniable, while promises and plans can be questioned or dismissed. Letting your accomplishments announce themselves not only surprises others, but also shields you from the pressure of living up to premature expectations. People will see what you've achieved, not what you've intended, and that carries far greater weight. Keeping your plans private also gives you room to adapt and evolve. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes adjustments are necessary. If you've announced your plans to the world, you might feel obligated to stick to them, even when circumstances change. This rigidity can hinder your success. But when your plans remain your own, you have the flexibility to pivot, experiment, and refine your approach as needed. Privacy gives you the space to learn, grow, and perfect your strategy without the fear of failure being public. Furthermore, the element of surprise is a powerful tool. When people are unaware of your next move, they cannot prepare for it or counteract it. Your actions catch them off guard, and your success becomes more impactful because it is unexpected. This advantage can be especially useful in competitive environments, where revealing your strategy too early can give others the opportunity to replicate or obstruct it. This approach requires discipline. The urge to share your plans, especially when you're excited or seeking validation, can be strong. But restraint is key. Remember, not everyone needs to know your next step. And the fewer people who do, the stronger your position. Share only with those you trust implicitly, those who will support, encourage, and respect your need for privacy. Keeping your plans private does not mean isolating yourself. Seek guidance from mentors, collaborate with trusted allies, and gather the resources you need. The key is discretion, sharing only what is necessary with those who can genuinely help, while withholding the full picture until the time is right. This balance ensures that you're not navigating alone while still maintaining control over your vision. When the time comes to execute your plans, let your actions speak for themselves. The world will take notice of your results, not your promises. Your success will carry an authenticity and power that words alone could never convey. And because your plans were protected until they were ready, they will stand strong against criticism or opposition. Your next step is more than a plan, it is your secret weapon. It is the culmination of your dreams, efforts, and vision, shielded from the distractions of the outside world until it is ready to shine. Guard it fiercely, nurture it quietly, and execute it boldly. Let your success surprise everyone, and let your silence, until then, be your greatest strength. In life, there is great power in discretion. Protecting your vulnerabilities, aspirations, lessons from past pain, financial independence, self-worth, and future plans is not about withholding yourself from the world, but about preserving what makes you strong, unique, and resilient. These aspects of your life are sacred, deserving of your respect and careful stewardship. When you honor them with privacy and intention, you create a space where your confidence can grow, your dreams can flourish, and your actions can speak louder than any words. Not everything is meant to be shared, and not everyone is meant to understand. Your strength lies in knowing what to reveal and what to keep close. Walk boldly, nurture your worth, and let your success speak for itself. Thank you for taking this journey with me.